IELTS Practice Tests 3, published by IELTS Practice Tests. This recording is copyright. Test 3. You'll hear several different recordings and you must answer questions about them. There'll be time to read the questions and you will have a chance to check what you've written. You'll only hear the recording once. The practice test is in 4 sections. At the end of the practice test, you can take up to 10 minutes to transfer your answers to an answer sheet. Section 1. You'll hear a conversation between a customer and a person working in a cafe. First, you'll have some time to look at the questions. Let's start. You should write your answers to the questions as you're listening, as you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer the questions.
Good afternoon, sir. Can I help you?
Yes, I'd like a cup of black coffee, please.
Any sugar in it?
Well, have you got sweetener?
Yes, we have.
Super. I'll have sweetener in that one. I'll also like a cup of white coffee, please.
Would you like sweetener with that one too?
Have you got any brown sugar?
Sure, here you are.
Thanks.
Would you like anything to eat?
Yes, please. I'd like a tuna and sweet corn sandwich, and I'd also like a chicken avocado sandwich.
I am sorry, but we haven't got any chicken sandwiches at the moment.
I see. Well, can I have a king prawn cocktail baguette?
Certainly. Anything else?
I fancy something sweet, actually. Have you got any brownies?
I'm afraid we've only got cookies and muffins today.
I see. Well, I think I'll have a piece of cake then. What kind of cake have you got?
We've only got pies and tarts today. We've got lemon tart, apple pie and custard tart.
Okay, I'd like a piece of custard tart and a piece of lemon tart too.
Anything else?
To be honest, I'd really like some brownies.
Later this afternoon we'll have some fresh brownies.
Well, I haven't got time to wait. I reckon I might have to come back another day. How much is that?
The sandwich is £4.50, the baguette is £8, and the tarts are £3 each. That's £18.50, please.
You haven't charged for the drinks.
Oh, yes, sorry about that. A cup of coffee is £2, so that's £22.50 altogether.
Here you are.
Thanks, sir. That's £30. Here is your change.
Thanks a lot.
Enjoy your meal.
Cheers.
That's the end of section 1. You now have 30 seconds to check your answers. Now move on to Section 2. Section 2. You will hear a tour guide giving details about a tour. First, you will have some time to look at the questions. Now listen and answer the questions. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Seven Sisters campsite. No, we are not in Seven Sisters, the London suburb we are all familiar with. Instead, we are in the middle of the outskirts of East Sussex, and it is called the Seven Sisters because of the seven stunning white cliffs standing on the shores of England. As you can see, the scenery is beautiful beyond description. So, let us go through our weekly schedule. On Monday, you are going to walk along a trail in the middle of the countryside. We're going to walk up hills, pass through a flock of sheep, and reach a crystal clear lake where we are going to have a picnic. You are also welcome to have a swim there. Obviously, this may only occur if weather permits. You know that it rains a lot this time of year, and weather conditions can affect our schedule. Next, we are going to carry on walking through this hilly area until we reach an untouched and unexplored beach on Tuesday. It is a pebble beach, so you shouldn't expect to see or build any sandcastles there. However, you can do some sunbathing while pebbles massage your back. It is an amazing view, and you will feel like contemplating the seven seas for hours. This is where we will put up our tents. We will be staying there until the next day. If you are keen on water sports, then this is the place to be. You can go water skiing, parasailing, and jet skiing. You can go on a banana boat ride. We also offer a range of sailing boats, canoes, and kayaks for those who like to set sail into an ocean of adventure. You'll be provided with life jackets. Remember to use appropriate safety equipment for whatever activity you intend to engage in. Now, if you're not into water sports, then you can look up at the sky. Yes, we are surrounded by magnificent white cliffs. If you want to do more than simply gaze at the incredible view, then you can put on protective gear and you are ready to go rock climbing. You can climb up the cliff and see the sunset from the top of the Seven Sisters. Do you know how you can go down? Well, we offer a paragliding experience to our rock climbers. You can launch yourself from there and reach the shores in a few minutes. After you go back to our campsite, you can share your adventures with your new friends while we are sitting in front of a fire. You can expect an unforgettable experience. That is the end of section 2. You now have 30 seconds to check your answers. Now move on to section 3. Section 3. You will hear a presentation from two students at a university. First, you have some time to look at the questions. Now listen carefully and answer the questions.
Okay, now let us move on to our weekly presentation. It is week 8, so I'd like to invite Justin Gibson and Lucy Starkey. Are you ready to start?
Yes, Miss Guilford. Hello everyone, I am Justin Gibson and this is Lucy Starkey. Our project is entitled Correlation Between Stress and Minor Illnesses Among Undergraduate Students. We aimed at examining the relationship between stress and minor illnesses during the academic year, and we discovered the most common stress-related illnesses among undergraduate students.
Our experimental procedure involved handing out a questionnaire to students at a university campus. Although they were randomly chosen, we managed to interview 50 first-year students, 50 second-year ones, and 50 final year students. The first question was related to stress over a period of time. In other words, we asked the students which time of the academic year is considered to be the most stressful.
And here are the results. First year students encounter difficulties in the first 4 weeks as everything is a novelty, and then they deal with stress quite well until week 10. After that, the stress levels increase again until week 14. On the other hand, second year and final year students have a low level of stress, and then they feel pressured to go through the assignments so that they can submit them by the end of week 7. While second year students feel more relaxed after that, final year students have high levels of stress until week 12. This is when they have to submit their dissertation. Afterwards, their stress levels fall dramatically. However, second year students feel stressed again because their final assessments should be done in week 14.
We also intended to examine the relationship between stress and minor illnesses. The questionnaire is composed of questions on a range of minor illnesses, and we asked the students to rate them according to the following criteria. They should tick strong if they had an illness more than 3 times within the academic year. They should tick mild if they had it once or twice. They should tick weak if they didn't have it at all.
We investigated the following minor illnesses: headache, rash, cold, stomach ache, insomnia, drowsiness, loss of appetite, tiredness, anxiety, and inability to concentrate.
The results were very interesting. Almost 90% of the students said they were exhausted during term time. Over half of those students were also very nervous and apprehensive. As a result, they pointed out that stress has affected their concentration. 3/4 of the students also suffered from insomnia. Half of the students did not feel like eating much, and 1/4 of them said they had stomach ache when they ate something.
As far as headaches are concerned, 2/3 of the students had excruciating headaches, and 7% of them said they suffered from migraines. Allergies, on the other hand, are not as common as we thought. Only 20% of the students mentioned they had some type of unpleasant rash during term time. However, a greater number of students had colds and even caught the flu. In fact, 3/5 of the students told they had a cold for a few days.
We also asked them to consider whether they had those illnesses during summer holidays. Only 15% of the students said they had a headache, and 2% of the students caught a cold. We were baffled by these results.
Yes, and we also noticed that 1/5 of the students felt tired during summer holidays, and only 5% did not sleep well. These findings led us to conclude that there is a relationship between minor illnesses and stress, and undergraduate students do suffer from stress-related illnesses during term time.
I am impressed by your results. Has anyone got any questions?
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to section 4. Section 4. You will hear part of a lecture about renewable resources. First, you have some time to look at the questions. Now listen carefully and answer the questions.
In today's lecture, we shall consider the importance of natural resources and the provision of renewable energy. As you know, petrol is a non-renewable energy source, and it is no longer regarded as the only source of energy. This is due to the fact that petrol cannot be replenished, which means that sooner or later it will have been completely extracted. However, according to the International Energy Agency, natural resources are replenished constantly, and as a result, they provide several forms of renewable energy. These resources are derived from the sun, wind, geothermal, and hydropower. Moreover, energy can also be generated from biomass or plant material and biofuel. The first renewable source I'd like to look at is solar energy. Energy is generated by solar radiation, and it can be used in a variety of applications, which range from providing hot water and central heating in houses to powering industrial boilers. Solar energy can be divided into active solar and passive solar techniques. While active solar techniques rely on photovoltaic panels and solar thermal collectors, passive solar techniques are resulted from architectural strategies. For instance, place the windows so that natural daylight can provide internal lighting. The sun may also play an important role in biomass. When plants carry out photosynthesis, they absorb energy from the sun. They store solar energy and they release it as soon as they are burnt. In other words, plants act as a natural battery. Plants can also be grown specifically for energy production. Now let us consider wind turbines. It is estimated that wind energy increases 30% annually, and it is generated from wind turbines, a device used from producing between 600 kilowatts and 5 megawatts of rated power. Wind turbines are normally located in offshore and mountainous areas where wind is more constant. However, wind speeds are 90% higher in offshore regions than in high altitude areas, and they provide significant amounts of energy. Hydropower energy is generated from hydroelectric dams, and they may produce 100 kilowatts of rated power. Hydropower energy may also be generated in rivers and oceans, even though they are deprived of dams. In this case, run-of-the-river hydroelectric power is resulted from kinetic energy. Energy may also derive from the earth. This is known as geothermal energy, and, as the name suggests, it is resulted from trapping the heat in volcanic locations. It may also be obtained from geothermal heat pumps or ground source heat pump, GSHP, a system that extracts heat stored in the ground. Geothermal energy is produced in countries such as New Zealand, United States, and Chile. In 2000, 86% of Icelandic houses were powered by geothermal energy. Finally, biofuels are developed from biomass. They may be divided into solid biomass, liquid fuels, and biogases. An example of liquid fuel is bioethanol, which is resulted from ethanol production from sugarcane. Bioethanol is used as a gasoline additive in the USA and Brazil. Another example of liquid fuel is biodiesel, which is made from vegetable oils, animal fats, or greases. This biofuel is largely used as a diesel additive and reduces levels of carbon monoxide from diesel-powered automobiles in Europe. In 2010, 2.7% of the world's transport fuel was derived from biofuels.
That is the end of section 4. You now have 30 seconds to check your answers. That is the end of the listening test. In the IELTS test, you would now have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the listening answer sheet. Thank you for listening.